So when you type me in there, then that lets everybody that I know see it?
Yeah.
They want to?
Right.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Yo, what up, world? Welcome back. You know what I'm saying? Got the new edition here with me today. You know what I'm saying? I got no, I don't even know their name.
I'm about to say, you can pull that out. That'll be impressive.
It's your boy Steph the Messenger. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you got your boy Dominic here, catching y'all from the south.
Yo, welcome back, D.
Yo, it's been a minute. It's been a minute, but I'm happy to be here again. Thank you. I know the gang still needs me, so I'm coming back just for y'all. Because obviously I've been hearing a lot of stuff that's been said up here that's been incorrect. I'm gonna correct that, all right? I'm here for y'all, my people.
The truth is here, y'all.
Yes, yeah, that's my other name, the truth.
You see, we got somebody.
Yo, we got also my homeboy. Yo, Mr. Frosty over here.
Man, welcome back, man.
Yo, it's been a minute for you too, man.
Was in the basement, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. I see.
Seeing light again, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, and we got a newly occurring person right now. My homeboy.
Hey, everybody.
Antonio right now, you know. Yo, y'all show much love up here, all right? Show him some love, all right? Appreciate that.
It's a podcast. All he gets stones, right? You know what love you over here?
All right. Pass the stones, all right. Yeah. He's coming out here visiting us and everything. So from St. Louis, y'all just
you think the Lord saves us?
You silly.
You think the Lord?
I blame you. That was your part.
All right, yo, today we're going to be talking about a special topic today.
Mercy.
All right. Something that nobody really wants to talk about, but we all need to hear
Hey, lady.
and talk about. And this is actually for the ladies.
For the ladies.
All right. We're talking about spousalship. All right.
For the lovers.
The wife edition.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about today.
Now, to be fair, we're going to talk about husbands too. But this week, we thought it'd be really, now, it'd be really cool if we, for the husband edition, we actually have wives talking about, Amanda West over here. I don't know who she is. She's up here real quick. She just jumped on real fast. But right now, we're talking about the wives. We're talking about the wives from we're coming from a biblical perspective. But often women don't hear from men about women.
And I'm here to make sure all men are heard. Love me, hate me, enjoy me.
Okay, so
this is pretty much, your boy Mr. Frosty Travis, man. He kind of led this topic out, man. So, he picked this topic.
So you just passed the puck.
All right, because we have guys from all the way from everywhere. Basically,
spousalship. So, like, what matters in spousalship?
Damn, your wife just said she blocked. We need to go start with that.
You blocked.
Start with that.
I don't think that's the topic at hand. So this is actually what we're going to be talking about today. All right.
So here, look. Part of this is nervous, right? So we have someone who's been divorced.
I know what you scared for.
I'm about to explain in a second. So we got divorced. We got someone who's been divorced. We have someone who's never been.
I've been in a lot of relationships. Dedication to
relationships. Then we have someone who's newly married, right? You've been married for how long now?
Man, going on 2 years and what, 2 weeks?
Dang, infancy. And then you got your boy, a little bit, you know what I'm saying, kind of a legend in the game. So, you know what I mean? We looking at a dime, you know what I'm saying? We looking at it. We ain't quite there, but we looking at it. You know what I'm saying? And we're also in different stages of our relationships right now, right?
Yes,
so We have my cousin here who, is fresh, just trying to he's like, look, if God don't send her, I don't want her. Yeah. Then you got my man D here who just is afraid of anything that looks like commitment.
Not afraid. Not quite sure and understand what's really going on in a female's head. Because, that's a whole different story. But
yeah, fair. And then we have my boy Stefan, who's new in the game. Who's been rocking hard in ministry, blah, blah, blah. Still figuring out the rhythm. Right? And then you have me, and my wife actually just beefing with me right now.
Yeah.
So, we coming not just from different perspectives.
Not that she just beefing with him. He kind of scared of her.
I'm terrified.
Yeah.
But it makes sense, though. We're going to talk about that why. Terrified as in this, right? I don't think women understand how heavy they are to the men that we're with, right? Like how heavy they are. And so we're going to get into it, man. We'll see what the Word of God has to say about it. We're going to be offering our own perspectives. And dang, Amanda, get to it because y'all just been kind of I thought we was gonna get right into it. So I respect him, Amanda. I don't even know who that is. But yeah, we're gonna go right into it. So what does it mean? And mind you, the assumption here is that we're talking about men and women who are of God, right? This is where we're coming from, this perspective.
Okay.
Right? So we're talking about the Christian, believe in the Bible, what I'm saying? The Lord is my life, what I'm saying? So forth and so on. That's the backdrop, right? So if you don't fit into that, we got to catch you another podcast.
Damn.
But this is for the, we got to be, sometimes you got to be inclusive, you know what I'm saying? Damn. Or exclusive. I'm not sure
hey, so talk to me, Trav.
Yo, so as you all know, Touch KC, I do relationship building on a lot of platforms. So I do mentoring, I do premarital, I do dating intervention, I do all that financial literacy. Everything is about bringing cognitive thinking into relational spaces, right? But this is the Sabbath, that's business. We'll talk about that later. That being said, this conversation on spousalship is not had enough, and when it's usually had, it's not correct. Right? And so we're gonna be dealing with some things today specifically. What does it mean to submit to your husband? Why he's a knucklehead, and why you got to be patient.
Why he's a knucklehead?
Yeah,
I don't know what you going to do. I was with him, then he just lost me for a second.
I know. We got to be honest.
So,
and how do you separate, right, your love for him as a person and your resentment of him as a husband? And so we're going to dive right in. We're going to dive right into it. Gonna dive, and honestly, feel free to comment. This is for men and women. Feel free to comment. We try to learn together, man.
So, yep. All right, let's get into it.
So
I got issues. So
go ahead.
What's your issue?
Yeah, I got issues. Because me, I'm thinking too many men are cowards, man. Honestly, that's my whole point of view, and that's why I said don't do this. I said it, and I meant it. I'm not backing down. You cowards. I call you, what do they call them? Punks now? Whatever.
I don't know what type of men are cowards. You talking about the ones who are married or the ones who
definitely you're married,
or
man.
the ones who are scared to get married?
No. I ain't scared to get married. I've been scared. From what I've been told, I haven't found the right one yet. From what I've been told.
Who told you that?
Everybody.
Who's everybody? Because I showed that said that.
Because they said basically, you just ain't found the right one yet. They say I'm too picky. And I'm like, yeah, I need to be picky. I thought that was the point of it, but that's a whole different story. We're not going to talk about it next week. Thank you.
Right. So I think the issue you're speaking of, the truth of the matter is, a lot of the angst that men feel women, it's the fact that you do feel like you do lose some of your
power.
Yeah, some of your masculinity has been compromised.
Masculinity.
Right? There's this picture of this lion. It's a full marriage, and the lion is all raw. He's all proud, and then after the marriage, it shows a female lioness thing in the zoo, and he all in the corner. You know what I mean? It feels like that. You don't really know how to get that back. So it's this thing you feel like you're constantly being punked. You know what I'm saying? And it's pressure. So we got our young lion here. You know what I'm saying? Who speaks from that perspective because he ain't obligated to nothing.
Look at Mufasa. You call me one more time.
I'm just saying. So let's see the Bible. Let's go. Scriptures going to go into, and then we're just going to go through those scriptures and see.
Talking about the wifeys from a man's perspective.
So when we talk about spousalship, right? We're talking about being a wife.
Nobody explains.
I want to start.
Be a wife. Okay.
Well, what is your role, right? Because roles are important. If we don't define roles, we don't know what we're talking about. So we got to go to Genesis. We got to go when this first went down. We got to go to the beginning.
Original. Got it.
That's Genesis. I think it's Genesis 1.
Genesis 1. I don't know if it's 1, but all right.
False prophet of it.
False prophet.
They are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And quick question, Trav. How do you feel about women being the head of the household?
Yo, we're gonna get to that in a second.
I'm just curious. I was hoping that you go cover that, but
we'll get to that in a second. The reason why we can't jump there, because before we talk about head and foot and sides and toes, we have to talk about first what was it supposed to look like initially?
Okay, let's go.
And that conversation is going to lead us to why men are the quote unquote head of the household. Because that doesn't sound like what people think it sounds like.
Okay.
That's not for what people think. So let's go to anybody. If y'all get there first before me.
Genesis what?
26.
Can you read that?
Tony up. No. Genesis 1:26 says, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be like you gotta.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And God said, "Let us make man in our own image." That's the one you talking about.
1:26.
Yeah.
I love that scripture.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, yeah. I didn't want to step on your toes. You going to go for it? Go for it, then, my man.
Let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish in the sea, and over the fowls of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
Kings of the universe.
27.
Right here.
So, 27?
So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them.
28.
And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish, and over the sea, and over the fowls of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth.
All right, stop right there. There's something that I want us to really understand. We're reading that scripture. Was there a head or a tail mentioned in there?
Nope.
No.
Not the animals got tail. Well, yeah, that was human beings.
Right? So when we talk about the animals being in submission, right, to humankind,
Right.
Humankind, men and women, there was no head or tail. There was no, I'm the head of you and blah, 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 blah.
No.
That's important to know. Initially, this was not the case. There was no, when we talk about this power shift, or we talk about roles, the role was given to both of them.
Your boy Nathan.
Oh, what up, Nate? He got jokes. See what you did?
You silly.
Why is that important to know? Understand at the very beginning there was men and women, and they're still equal, but their roles were similar. But Eve was given another role on top of that. So both of them are given dominion over the fish and the sea and blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
But Eve was given another role. She had another purpose.
Mm.
And I'm trying to find the actual scripture there.
Go ahead and paraphrase for right now.
No, because I want people to be like, oh, false prophet.
Right. Oh, don't worry.
So I'm going to start with Genesis 2, verses 15.
Genesis 2.
Yo, this is why I love the word of God, because it takes us to the original.
It's 22 is where it started, man.
I always just start with 15.
Good.
Because it's important that we see the setup. This is before Eve was created. Now, mind you, we just learned, because Genesis first just kind of give an overview, and then Genesis 2 kind of goes more into specifics. Remember, we just saw the purpose of man was to take care of the earth.
Correct.
Man included man and woman. There was no difference in responsibilities.
Correct.
No one had more than the other. No one was more, nothing. It wasn't split. So Eve had the responsibility, but Eve also had another.
All right. So,
here we go, verse 15. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. This man by himself, this is just Adam. And the Lord God commanded the man, you are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. For when you eat from it, you will surely die. And we see this command given. Eve is not on the scene yet.
Man.
I'm going to go back to this.
This is a man's word.
Right? That's not where I was going. Okay. So 19, now the Lord God had formed out of the ground all the wild animals and all the birds in the sky. He brought them to the man, this is Adam, to see what he can name them. And whatever the man called each living creature, that was his name. So man gave names to all the livestock, the birds in the sky, and the wild animals. But for Adam, no suitable helper was found. So the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep. And while he was sleeping, he took one of the man's ribs and then closed up the place with flesh. Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib he had taken out of the man, and he brought her to the man. And the man said this is the first time we ever see game being spit in creation. This is now bone of my bones, ooh, flesh of my flesh. Mm-hmm. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of the man. And this is why man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. And Adam and Eve were both naked, and they felt no shame.
I was going to say, did you read that one too?
What's that?
The tree of knowledge.
yeah, he did.
I did. So why is that important? when God created man, right? This is the beauty of God, and this is what we should identify with, right? Because we have a lot of characteristics of the Father. God could have stayed in the universe by himself.
It's kicked in, yeah.
Yeah. He created his son because he didn't like the idea of being alone. When he created man in his image, he created this woman, right? Because it's not good for man to be alone. And she was to be his helpmeet.
See, now it's about to come some contradiction because everybody know Jesus was not married, correct?
Right, I was gonna say.
So I'm just gonna put that out there right now. If it ain't good, and yet he's my example, I'm just saying. Bro.
Here's the thing.
I'm just saying, bro.
We go because you're talking about after sin. All this, I'm just simply setting up the idea of what marriage is initially.
Okay, go ahead.
Right? Initially, because Jesus was also killed at 33, also.
So why wasn't it good for man to be alone?
It's something that God created. It's I believe, and this is Travis talking. Anybody want to comment, feel free. But I believe just like God didn't want to be alone, what he put in us also, whatever aspects we took from him, also didn't. Because here's the thing, right? And this is going back to, I promise all this is going to make sense. Adam was given the mission. It took Adam to realize that he didn't have a helper and that he was missing something before God gave it to him. But his mission was already given. He already knew who his God was. His mission was already given, and he knew who his God was before Eve came to help him with that.
On the flip side, his mission was already given.
Mm-hmm.
You want to type that
Again.
His mission was already given.
So, first point to my wives, right? This is going to be a tough one. This is going to be a tough one, but just hear me out. If you're with a man where God has given him a vision, and he already knows before he married you the path that God has for him, it is,
He know who his God
it
was.
is your responsibility to complement that path. If you're not trying to do that, stay single. You were better off that way anyway. Because remember,
And he said, stay single.
Eve didn't have a desire for Adam.
Who his God was.
I'm going to say that again. Eve did not have a desire for Adam. She woke up and there's this God here. And she's like, okay, bet. This is God with this.
Why didn't she buck though? Why didn't she just go and just
start
start playing?
So we're talking about bucking. Remember, we're talking about a perfect world where the idea of rebellion is like, nobody knows what that is. There's no pride.
So God created her with intention.
She created her for Adam to help Adam, not just with his mission, right, but to be a companion as he fulfilled the mission.
All right. So we're gonna talk about the curse now, or
No, we're not going to curse yet.
are we not gonna?
It's important that we set this up.
All right.
Wives, this doesn't mean you don't have your own vision. It doesn't mean that God, because the way God made women is incredible, really. Because you all were made with the attributes to multitask and to do both. She still had the same responsibilities Adam had, except now she also had the responsibility of being with Adam. But understand this, based on what we read, Adam sees Eve, and we see that love. We see that bone in my bone, flesh in my flesh. We see this emotional connection.
Love at first sight.
Understand? And we don't see that from Eve.
Mm.
That's important to note if we have this conversation, because often it's seen in reverse.
So Eve wasn't peeping him, he was peeping her.
And he was like, all right. But Adam was like, ooh, Lord, you love me this much? And Eve was like, what's good? He had a desire for Eve before Eve even knew he existed. But he knew his God and he knew his path. Eve is created. She has the same responsibilities plus one. As a wife, you still have what God is giving you to do plus one. Us. West side. Let that simmer in your spirit.
I agree with this.
Let it simmer. Let me simmer.
I'm like, can we try some of these points?
Nah, I agree with this. Some of the
Right? This is important. This is why you shouldn't be rushing to be a wife. Because some of y'all take girlfriend mentality into wifehood.
Ooh.
Right?
Is that preparing them for wifehood?
Head to the knob.
What do you mean,
Head to
Travis?
the
I don't
knob.
understand, Travis.
No.
Travis.
No, run away.
Travis. This is what I've been taught. What are you
So
talking
we
about,
can say
Travis?
Adam might love her, but
A godly woman. Oh, I'm about to say this. I'm gonna run off. A godly woman can't be a girlfriend.
What? Impossible, Travis. I don't know what you're talking about. Obviously, you haven't went to church long enough. Get back down here. Oh, he gonna just. So that's how we feel right now.
Nah,
All right,
but
so-
that's cool. He said a godly woman.
I'm just saying. So anybody who's a girlfriend right now is not a godly woman. Is that what I'm hearing? Is that what I heard? Is that what you heard?
No,
Antonio.
Everybody is
Oh.
He
No.
said
Leave for 5 minutes. Leave for 5 more minutes. I'll take care of this.
No, I'm saying the reason why, as a godly woman, the relationship with your boyfriend is not working out because you're not built to be a girlfriend, right? And this is why, because girlfriends allow you the opportunity to still be the illusion of independence while still trying to be connected and submissive to him. It doesn't work. And we ain't even talking about submission yet. Mind you, we're not even talking about
So
submission
you
yet.
saying they can be independent and what the
It's
girlfriend thing?
For a godly woman, that's unnatural. It's an unnatural state to be in because she's built to be a helpmeet.
To be a wife.
Right. You have her as a placeholder. She's agreeing a girlfriend is just a placeholder until as a man, I figure out what I want to do.
I mean, love and hip hop though, bro.
Dang, we said golly though.
That's not a guy.
I'm spicy. I'm spicy.
Love and hip hop, baby.
I'm spicy.
Cardi B, man.
So like, now understand this. Understand this. It could be argued that Adam was more submissive to his wife than his wife was to Adam.
Before the curse, okay.
Before the curse.
Before the curse, I can
Think about it.
I can
He has a desire. She didn't have one. If you want me more than I want you, who's in the position of power, really?
Right.
I gotta say, before the curse, I can believe
And
it.
every woman I know, every godly woman I know, when she got married, her life was interrupted by a dude. My wife included. I definitely came and jacked her life up. Not jacked up.
I can believe it. I can believe it.
But yeah, I definitely came in interrupted. I came in disrupted because she was fine with where she was. Because she was growing in God. She was in her mission.
He said facts.
Eve was perfect. Eve was cool in non-existence. She's created, brought into this world, and there's this guy like, oh my gosh. And she's like, all right, cool. But understood, he knew his God.
All right.
He knew his mission. Also, as the first wife, she still had women be like, well, I got to do both because that's what being a wife is. Because we see that in the first example in the perfect world. She had two responsibilities that were very distinct. To be a helpmeet to Adam, and she still had dominion over blah, 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 everything else. It's important to understand that. So as a wife, this is what you're walking into.
I gotta put that. She had two
jobs.
I don't stop interrupting the flow.
Two responsibilities.
I want to go back over this mother.
All right. So,
to be his wife.
now that we already got this set up.
So we got that set up, right?
Got it.
Now, something happens. Here's the question you have to ask. That point I was making about Eve being in a position, not only for lack of a better word, power. That's for like that's not the right word, but close enough, right? Why did Satan come to Eve?
Satan come to Eve? Honestly, I believe that was just a regular decision. I believe he could have came to Adam or Eve. I believe either or would have worked for him. I believe he could do either or.
Yeah, people,
that's my personal belief. Personal belief. That's just me. I ain't saying that nothing has nothing to do with the Bible. That's my personal. I believe he could have came to Adam the same way.
But I would agree. But let's go to the Word of God.
Go ahead.
I don't think I spelled that right, but
we can go to verse 6.
You definitely spend the meaning right.
Verse 6. When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good, this is after. I don't know what just saying. Chapter what was just saying. 3.
That was 3.
Chapter 3.
That was 3. 3-1. Go ahead.
Genesis 3.
Yeah, 1. Go ahead.
All right, we're going with verse 6. This is after like the herding the serpent and whatever. And this is a rebuttal to our next point. When the woman saw the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye, and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some of it and ate it. She also gave some to her husband, who was with her.
Thank you.
And he ate it. Why would he? If Adam was right there, why is the serpent dealing with Eve? Why is Adam quiet?
Why is Adam quiet? Why? Because he's submitting to his wife like he's supposed to.
No, because remember the idea of submission is not even doesn't exist here.
So
Doesn't it?
So you saying Adam watched it go down?
Yeah, he's with her.
I mean, he could have been like had his back turned.
Nah. So the question we gotta ask is, why was Adam quiet? Why didn't he interrupt? Why didn't he say, nah, baby, nah?
Cause he was like, man, he was like,
Baby,
man, my wife
talk
know
to
the
my
game.
shit. What's wrong with you? Why didn't he interrupt that?
He was like, my wife know the game. I ain't got a trip.
Nope. That's a good try though. But you know from word of God, that's not true. You stretch out.
How can you prove that he didn't put his wife up on game, so she know what decision to make?
From my understanding, man, look here, it's Eve's fault that Adam did this.
People say that, but that's only because we live in a world that's dominated by men. So of course, just like white people have dominated the narrative of the Bible, men have dominated the narrative of creation. Right? A man sat there and watched.
Yeah.
Because his love for his wife overshadowed his love for God. Because as we see from the word of God, we don't know what Eve was told, but we know he was directly told what that tree was and what it was about before she was even created. Mm-hmm. And Adam sat there and watched. He didn't interrupt. And when she turned around, they didn't eat the food at the same time. He was like, oh, baby, that sounds like a good idea. He was quiet. What do we do when we see wrongdoing happening and we're quiet and we see it happening? And we're quiet. Why are we usually quiet?
I want to see what's going to go down.
For all of us who are actually normal. Why are we actually why are we usually quiet when we see something happening? You know the answer. Okay.
What do you think, Fred?
No, don't be trying to pass the buck. Yo, stop passing the buck all day.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think it's because we don't want to get involved.
I mean, yeah, we don't want to get involved.
But that's your wife, though, right? That's because we go back up a few verses. Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh.
Right.
What happened? Why are you quiet now, Adam?
Scared.
Come on now.
I ain't scared.
Thank you, Dom. Thank you, Dom.
I said y'all was cows from the start. I said the word cow from the start.
Man. Why would you be scared though?
Me? Bro? Oh, I ain't married, homie. I ain't never scared. I think fear only comes after you get married.
But here's interesting. You go down to verses, right? Verse 8. Then the man and his wife heard the sound of the Lord as he was walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and they hid from the Lord God among the trees of the garden. The Lord God called to the man, "Where are you?" He answered, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." Eve ate the fruit first. Adam was the one who answered God first. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Eve ate you would think the most guilty party would talk.
Right. First, right.
But it says in the word of God that sin came in the world through a man.
Okay.
Who was told first? Adam.
Since he was first.
Adam was told first. That didn't mean he didn't know. But it talks about in the Bible, he was actually deceived. Adam was not. Hence the silence. When we know we're supposed to be doing something that's righteous and we stay quiet, that's fear. Stay quiet. So God is like, yo, who told you was naked? And then Adam, now we see why relationships are going to go. Pass the puck syndrome.
That's right.
This woman you gave me. Now, mind you, the verse before, the chapter before, bone of my bone, this transaction is happening. It's a whole conversation. Adam says nothing out of fear of losing her. But the moment God comes with accountability, now it's the woman's fault.
Why do you think that is? Like, why he starts talking in?
I mean, yo, I bet he was more scared of God than
I think
Eve. Like, let's be for real.
So now he feared God more.
Well, now he was that kind of fear that wasn't respect. Now, because the finality, remember, the eyes were open. For the first time, they realized there's a choice you can choose against God. That's why people think it wasn't a special kind of fruit. It was just a matter that God said, not this one. It could have been any tree. The point was, now you decided not to. And now you see what death looks like. It's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, not the tree of evil.
Right.
Now you know. Now you can decide. And Adam sold out.
Right.
And then he was like, no, it's the serpent. I was deceived. God said, I got something for all of y'all. Now, this is the part Don was trying to rush to. We got to sit all this up. We're going to talk about wives, right? Word of God.
Let's get it. I'm ready for it. I love this.
Verse 16, have mercy.
Verse 16.
To the woman, he said, I will make your pains in childbearing very severe. Dang. With painful labor, you will give birth to children. Now here, here's what we've been setting up for. It's this part right here. You never hear anyone talking about it. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you.
It says D, but that's you.
You silly.
Oh gosh. This is the first time we see a shift due to the title of wife. Now understand, we don't get into that today, but having a wife, what sealed that bond, what sealed that commitment was sex.
So marriage.
That's what sealed the marital commitment. Sex. That's what I'm like, what about people who got, you know what I'm saying? They eunuchs. Come on, guys. Come on, let's. If I say walk to the store and you're gonna be like, what about people with no legs? Like, come on, bro. Let's keep it. Let's not be argumentative, right? Let's debate in the spirit. It's cool. We're gonna reason together, but let's not be that person. Just for any future comments, seriously. Probably need to mark this time just to remind people.
Let's go.
That's what we see. God has to tell people. But listen, this is the confusion, right? And to my wives who don't feel submissive, you're not crazy.
Whoa. I'm gonna stop you there.
Get him.
You know, this is a real curse. They should feel submissive for the simple fact, that's their job right now.
Let me tell you.
This is their job. You don't read it from the Bible. So
hear me out.
Say, I was with you the whole way until then.
First of all, it's not women, it's wives, right?
Wives, that's
one.
what I say.
Two, being submissive in the role has nothing to do with your personality. This role, this bond, this union you have, this is what happens regardless. This doesn't mean you stop being independent of spirit.
All right, let's define submissive. Let's go with that.
So let's go with it.
Let's go with it. What you got for it?
We all know that scripture, right? Wives, be submissive to your husbands. We know that.
Oh, I definitely know that. Go ahead. That's one of the few.
So let me try to enlighten a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is my expertise.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing about submission, right? Submission, women had to be told to be submissive because submission is not natural for them.
That's probably why my marriage didn't work.
Oh, nobody told him? Like,
women had to, the curse was to the woman, not to the man to be submissive, because men, when they are a godly man who's in love with their woman, tends to be submissive. We saw submission in the garden.
Dang, he said the man is.
So I'm gonna be real with you, because God made that a curse. You don't gotta be told; it already happened. You see what I'm saying? After that curse happened, like, I'm just gonna be real.
First of all, it didn't say the woman will be submissive. It said, we were talking about the curse. It said that he will rule over you.
That means definitely, you
not the way that people think.
Your desire shall be for your husband.
Not your desire. We're not talking about personality or execution. That's one. Two, my biggest point here, women, if you're with a godly man, be gentle, because it's already in him to be submissive. Adam was already on that.
I mean, he's just being a gentleman, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, come on, God. The setup is too clean. Adam was already on that. This is before the fall. His silence.
That's why the change happened after the sin came. The change happened. The switch up just happened.
The change didn't happen in terms of now the woman, suddenly you have no choice, right? You said the man will rule over. This is the actuality that happens. It didn't say the man ruling over you will be pretty. It didn't say you will like it. It wouldn't say that you will fight against it. The point I'm making is the reason why that, it can be argued, the reason why that wasn't given to men, because a man, a godly man who loves a woman, he tends to be that. He tends to be submissive. He treats his woman different. He's more gentle with her. What happens is he gets fed up because he's not feeling like it's being done back. And he starts overcompensating.
What do you mean by overcompensating?
Yes, I want you to explain that.
Let's go with this stuff.
Right.
Step the messenger. Go ahead, step the messenger. Go ahead.
I'm trying to figure it out. Overcompensating.
What you talking about? You newly married, man. Go ahead.
He used that big word, overcompensating. That threw me off.
Wow, you're gonna bring on Jackson County education. All right, so
go.
Overcompensating meaning. Now, in order to balance the scales, he's going too far to the right, and it's not even natural for him. He doesn't know how to make you be submissive.
So like
but he
dominating?
tries to be. Exactly.
Domineering?
He starts becoming domineering. He starts becoming, he doesn't know how to deal with being in this position of ruler, because this curse is a thing. So now the woman comes up bipolar, because she's like, oh, the man should leave me. And he's like, oh, bet. And she's like, nah, you can't trust me with that.
I mean, some women you gotta be tough with, because like
you only feel that way. Why do you have to be tough with them? Why?
Like some women, like of course this ain't my wife, but some women like they don't give you like they gonna dominate you. Like they gonna run over you if you don't put your foot down on them.
That's exactly what I mean by overcompensating.
Okay.
That what he just said. That's exactly what I mean.
But some women do really want that.
And I'm gonna say this right now. If I know I'm a freaking king, there's nothing you can do to stop me. Like, yo, why do I gotta prove myself?
Thank you for that plug-in, like Dominic. For those who are thinking about, he's like, what's on. But he's also said as a single man. That tie to a woman he's tied to, as a man, I don't know how to explain that. In all my relationships, I'm usually the
So some magical power comes over you.
No,
that's basically you say you can explain. That's definitely what you just said.
As a man who is trying to follow Christ, most of my relationships I'm considered like either I'm considered like a lone wolf, or I'm considered kind of like the alpha. You know, that's not a real thing. But you know
the alpha male.
I'm kind of the dominant. I'm the warrior in my relationships, right? In my marriage, I'm definitely the peacemaker. I'm the more passive one. What happened? Nothing magical, but there's when a man loves a woman.
We don't ever say that. Oh my goodness.
That's a real thing, though. And so, as we see, I'm just going back to the original example. This is before the fall. We see Adam in a submissive position because of his love for his wife.
Men and gentlemen, yeah.
Right? Women had to be told that because obviously there's something in the man that seeks a woman. There isn't something in the woman that seeks a man.
False. I live out here on these streets, dog. Trust me, they trying to husband.
Show me a woman who was born and raised in a household where the man and woman are in a healthy relationship. She witnessed that, and there wasn't a man that came before and deceived her. Show me a woman with that attitude, because I know the ones who aren't that way, and they're all they're like, oh, I'm cool.
Saying deceived her.
Yeah. So a man will come. This whole boyfriend thing y'all be allowing men to do, y'all need to stop that.
What?
He will come.
What? Whoa. I'm gonna say no.
This...
Ladies, don't do that just yet. Okay, not just yet.
Nah, we talking about freedom out here. Free yourself of the title.
Freedom is overrated. It's an overrated experience that y'all don't really need.
Right now,
look, in the girlfriend scenario, you are at an extreme disadvantage as a woman. Because he's already told you he's not ready to commit to you. But bodily, once you let that man hit, once you let him in your chambers, your inner chambers, that curse takes effect.
First off, we're also connected to you.
Sex.
Oh,
I'm talking about sex.
My bad.
I'm talking about sex.
My bad.
Because you just wouldn't let it ride. I'm trying to be all poetic on the podcast.
Hey, look here. Okay. But we feel some kind of way too. I seen men get attached to female. Men get just as much attached as females. We have feelings. Stop acting like we don't have feelings, Travis.
True.
Like I'm sick and tired of females thinking dudes don't have feelings. Don't forget all that mess, man. Nah. I mean, my goodness.
Okay, so
ever since you got married, man, I don't know.
We're talking about men next week. But this week's about the ladies. And what I'm telling you right now, you're at a disadvantage by being a girlfriend, because if you're sexually intimate, it activates for you. For him, we was just, I woke up today and just realized this ain't the choice I wanted. Now you wonder why you want trauma. So now the women y'all talking about who are out here seeking men, because they're literally as a hole, that their hymen's been broken. There's a hole there, and they're trying to, that was filled once with a man, they're trying to fill it again. They become desperate, so they either become, I don't give an F about a dude.
So through sex, they trying to have sex more?
No, wow, you're such a man.
I am just saying.
Go back to the curse.
I was okay with that logic for a second. I don't know why.
Go back to the curse. We just set all this up in Genesis. Right? We just said, hey, look, the marital commitment is sealed through sex, correct?
Correct.
So if you have sex, that seal is happening without the other stuff of the covenant. As a woman, that curse kicks in immediately.
So now they trying to.
But this ain't your husband, though. So the woman y'all talking about, it's all different now. Every woman I've worked with who's that way, there's that one guy that they bonded with who disappointed her. Every woman I know who hasn't, basically virgins, they tend to be like la 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 la.
So you ain't never.
Johnny, am I preaching right now?
Yes.
Come on now. Come.
Hey. Women will be on here next week. Right now, I only want to hear from men. Obviously, they are saying the wrong thing right now.
So hold
Love
on.
your wife, but
so you
still.
saying you ain't ever run into a virgin who is depressed and like needful for
Unless
a man?
she had the example she was giving.
She never has that.
Time out. The example she was giving, this is the other caveat of them. Because the first thing we see how we judge men and women relationships, or how the first example of our parents. So based on that example, but even that, unless there's extreme abuse involved, nah. Every girl I know who has not been sealed, she's very clear-headed, and she's like, man. In fact, a lot of times you'll see them get crazy until they get married. And this is why.
My husband made me do it.
Because of this, going back to this curse, right? It's why your girlfriend, don't do it. Don't do it. If he's not, you like him, he's feeling you, and he's talking about marriage, hey, bro, come holler at me when you're ready for that. Here's the thing that happens, though.
You gonna let him say that?
And this is important. Talking
to
my wives or people who are looking to be wives. This curse, I'm going to use my wife as an example, who I said earlier is definitely beefing with me right now. Jacqueline Green, I know, right? She's probably watching this with like, do I kill this nigga now? Like, so, Jacqueline Green, right? That's her maiden name. That's what she was before I met her. She became Jacqueline after I married her, after I injured her. She was a virgin before we got married. That was not on purpose. When I entered her, when she's bonded to me in that way now we've known each other we knew each other maybe about 8 years before that happened. But now she's bonded to me that way.
So far.
There is a battle that takes place now within the woman that a man doesn't have to deal with. Is this curse you're talking about, right? She should rule over you, and then she still has her independent nature. So sometimes Jacqueline Bryan and Jacqueline Green don't get along some days. Because Jacqueline Bryan, that's that curse. Like you said, you can't do nothing about it.
Right.
So there's something in her that wants to. And then Jacqueline Green is like, for what? This dude is blocking. Cut him off. And Jacqueline Bryan's like, no, I'm bonded. She's like, you drug addict. She started disgusting it. She will start being disgusted by that side of her. That's why for men who are married, when I counsel men who are married, I'm like, yo, be patient. She's going to be crazy sometimes.
Sometimes.
So what you got to do is feed. I got to feed Jacqueline Bryan, which honestly, this is my fault. Our beef right now is my fault. It's my fault. But I got to just feed Jacqueline Bryan to make her strong enough to fight with Jacqueline Green and win those battles. But as husbands, because we don't realize that they're not us, and they don't realize they're not us, we don't have that issue. And women be like, oh, you don't love me because this and that, because they don't see you having that inner battle. Wow, we don't have that. Don't mean we don't love you. Doesn't mean we don't have feelings.
Sorry.
Well, we just don't have that. That curse was given to us. But part of the reason it was given to y'all is because y'all not naturally submissive. A godly man tends to be. Baby, what you want, baby? Happy life, happy wife? Well, I can't touch you. Yo, 2019, bro.
Well, you gonna let him touch me?
2019. 2019.
Calm down.
Anyway, so what we see happening is that now when this woman's in this situation and now she's married, right? She starts thinking like, well, why can't I? But at the same time, she also wants you to be that king, quote unquote. So as a wife, you need to be aware of that battle happening within you and stop taking it out on your husband.
Agreed. No. I agree on that because I'm thinking.
They was like, I thought you was on our side, Travis. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What does that look like though? Taking it out on your husband.
Yeah, but if she's not a godly woman, then she's not going to know to deal with herself.
And as a godly man, you probably shouldn't even put yourself in that situation.
Why are you with an ungodly woman if you're trying to be a godly man?
But you can be a godly man, not living the godly way, and that's why you.
That ain't how that works.
You shall know them by their fruits.
Yeah.
What you talking about?
Talk to me.
You could be a godly man and still making mistakes. That's true.
On your David.
Yeah, you can be on that. But again, that has nothing to do with the role of wife. Here's the thing about spouseship for men and women. You as a wife, your role as a wife has nothing to do with him as a husband. That's a responsibility God is giving you. So God's what he's talking about. That's a responsibility God is giving you. When I say what he's talking about him as a husband. Me as a husband. Regardless of what me as a husband is talking about. Whatever I'm on. That's the responsibility God is giving you. I'm just simply explaining why you're having some of this internal angst. That's all. I'm just simply explaining why. Because it's submissive thing. And so when the Bible says women be submissive, it's like, look, the curse is there already. Just follow the curse. Don't fight it because it creates problems within the relationship.
The curse is there already. Don't fight it.
It says, hey, look, honor your husband. Let me tell y'all a secret. Women want to be adored. They want to be loved on. Men want to be admired. They want to feel like the hero.
Man, you agree with that, D?
No.
You agree with that?
You just finished saying you were the king.
I mean,
No, I said if I know I'm the king, why do I have to prove it?
you want to be admired.
Why do I have to prove that? I don't need
Nobody
to
said
prove.
nothing about proving.
No, I'm saying.
Are you a king or not?
Yeah.
Would you like to be treated as such?
What do you mean? No. Seriously, I wasn't playing. I wasn't really playing. I didn't mean like seriously.
If you say you're king, why do you want to be acknowledged and treated as a king?
I mean, does that, if I'm not treated as a king, I'm gonna be real with you. Does that not stop me from still being the king? Like, yo, is she going off crazy? I'm going off from a female. Like, she's going crazy right
They
now.
don't really understand women most of the time. Out there. But go ahead.
I didn't even know what to say for that one. You're absolutely right. Women are crazy and confusing. So
Women are not crazy. No,
they are crazy.
Wives
You just said.
No, wives are crazy.
So anyone who has sex or made a mistake, I'm gonna say that.
No,
Or let somebody enter.
Don't get me wrong. God restores. So it's not like, you had sex, it's over for you. I'm simply saying this is why, even though he's your boyfriend, you're so tied to him. This is why when he was like, I'm done, you were devastated. Why? Because you went through the same trauma as a divorced woman would.
Again, which you take on to your next relationship. Therefore, going through the craziness because somebody's already interested in you. I'm just thinking that out right now. Like, they're crazy. They're already having a dilemma problem. They're having the dilemma problem.
I'm going to say another strong statement. So, as a Christian woman who's married, or going to be married, understand that your husband, in some ways, is weaker than you. That's why he needs you to submit.
Is weaker.
He's weaker.
The Bible say they the weaker vessel.
What?
Let's go to that scripture.
Definitely. They are saying that. That is definitely a
line upon line, precept upon precept. Let's go to that.
You don't believe? You ain't seen that scripture?
I'm talking about from a man's standpoint. What do we do to get a woman? We want him and dine him, and then when we get him, we baby him.
That's more showing how dominant we are over them.
No, it's not.
That shows that we're stronger than them.
If you see a scene and you see somebody bringing gifts to somebody, right? And the person's like, okay, that's okay. They look at it like, that's okay. You just see the scene. Who do you assume is the powerful one in the situation? I'm not talking about dude, female. I'm just simply saying. You come on the scene.
Dudes would be like, man, dude over there tricking. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm just saying that you assume it's a dude. I say in that situation, that's what Tony's saying. It's a woman. It's a guy's bringing her gifts. She's like, okay, maybe I'll give you. Okay,
we groveling at their feet. We chasing behind them.
Are you serious?
The one you really want? Yeah.
Okay, the one you really want.
Yeah. You really want?
We there for you.
The one you really want.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you court a
woman?
No.
This 2019, homie. Women court men. Women court men. Welcome to KC. Welcome to KC, baby. Welcome home. Welcome home.
You court young girls.
So what? Do I court white girls?
No, you court the girls that you talk to.
Do I court the girls I talk to? My girls get treated.
Nah. No, but to be honest, like
that's me going out.
Women are
that's just me going out. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, yo, in that case, I've been quoting a lot of dudes.
A woman cannot. A woman cannot.
I was like, dang.
A
woman cannot court a man.
Why you say that? Explain.
The reason why a woman cannot court a man.
Come on, wrap it up.
When we talk about the marital relationship, the man always needs the woman more. Let me explain to you why. As I'm saying, when you're in a position of power, right?
Yeah.
And you need not to abuse that power. He wants you more because real talk, a man is only going to look for a woman to marry is because there's something part of his vision he needs help with that he can't do himself. So Dominic is perfectly fine in his life. That's why he's not pressed about having a wife.
Is that true, dude?
I'm not.
Oh, okay. Straight out.
I
God,
I'd rather listen to the whole thing.
I knew what my God was and what my vision was, right? I'm still growing as an individual. I'm still a sinner. I knew what my God was and what my vision was. I realized the vision was too big, so I started looking for a mate that I felt could complement that vision. If I could do it myself, I wouldn't have got married.
I believe you can do it by yourself. I mean, it's easier
No.
to do it with that mate.
You can't tell me what I can do.
We long for a woman and all.
Stop. I don't believe God would have given you a mission that you couldn't do by yourself.
Oh, that's not true because
I mean, even
why would
No
he-
disrespect. Like, yo, that
If I may, just real quick, if I may, if that was the case and I don't needed nobody, why was he giving the help me to begin with?
he was lonely.
It said help me.
is
not just a
anybody
sex buddy.
lonely?
I mean, Adam was basically like, yo, God, everybody got somebody but me.
Actually, that's not what the word says.
I paraphrase.
Yeah, actually, God was like, when he saw there was no suitable mate, God was like, I got you. So the point I'm making is that long came from Adam. Which wives or future wives, because men are functional. We just function the way we think. If he cannot, I don't care how much he loves you, oh baby, you ba 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 ba. If he can't explain how he did his vision, don't wife him, because as a wife, like we talk about, your job is to help him. How you gonna help him? He don't know what he want to do. He don't know where he's going,
True.
or he doesn't know who his God is chilling.
True.
A God is chilling, like, yeah. You be like, yo, so what are we? Yo, we cool. We just figuring it out. Leave. That man's not. He could be a quote unquote good man, but he's not prepared to be a husband. Being a husband is brutal.
Crushing dreams out here.
I'm just saying, true story.
But
So a lot of people gonna be breaking up with their boyfriends at the end of this podcast. I can see this now. But please direct all your angry comments to Travis, aka Mr. Frosty.
hey, but then at the same time though, like dudes are at an advantage nowadays because women don't want to be alone.
Men are at an advantage because women don't realize the power of their femininity.
And we're not going to talk about that power
No,
today.
we
We're actually
gotta
going
talk
to
about
wrap.
that.
We're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap this thing up right now and early because
No, we
I
gotta talk about
nah,
it.
that's all right. We're good.
I got time. What time is it?
Nah, you ain't got time.
I got time. It's only 7:15. I got time. Look,
How far we gotta go?
we gotta keep it. Look,
All right,
the power of femininity is this. It's that same power that caused Adam, who was made by God's own hands, to be quiet when Eve was talking to the serpent. It's that kind of power. The truth of the matter is, Adam was ready to risk it all because of how he felt about her. Your man, his temptation is going to be not making you a god and then resenting you for it. So that's why you being submissive, it really doesn't help you out in a relationship.
You said not making you a god.
His challenge is going to be not making you a god and then resenting you for not accepting his worship.
Not making you a god.
Ladies, tell me you've heard this before. After all I've done for you, this how you going to treat me? After everything, you going to do this?
Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. I always thought there was a cop out for females as well. For the simple fact, yo, you act like he ain't do nothing to you.
Here's the thing. That's not really.
Now let's go with this, cause yo, as your cousin said, we're doing the court. So after all these dinners, this is how you would be like, yo, that goes back to that, man. Like,
Hold
yo,
on, let me
forget
finish
all
this
that.
point. Let me finish this point though. Understand what the mistake that Adam made, because there was something naturally in him that put Eve above God. That's the mistake. You were in a godly marriage. The mistake your husband's going to make is, and because you're not really seeing the power of submission, the mistake your husband's going to be making is trying to make you God. He's going to be trying to do everything for you. It doesn't work. He's going to experience burnout, and he's going to start resenting you for it.
So you talking about like trying to appease?
Yeah.
Like trying to appease?
Yeah,
the woman?
and there's men who are quiet right now. They pull into Adam, but they know exactly what I'm talking about. He's going to try to do everything he can. Happy wife, happy life. He's going to try to do everything he
That's
can.
the stupidest thing I ever
Agree.
heard.
I'm not even talking about that right now.
Okay,
He's going
go
to try to do everything he can to please you. And because you are rebelling against that natural instinct to be submissive because you got trust issues, because you got hurt, for whatever reason, you are killing your relationship.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, so you're telling wives to be happy?
What?
Oh, I was just throw that in.
No.
What
are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm going for dudes right now. I'm going for dudes.
So to my ladies, understand, as a wife, it's not about emotional retirement. Y'all come to marriage expecting like now you'll never be hurt again. Psych.
Yeah.
You expect now, oh, she's not ready to live my life because he's been courting you, like my cousin was saying. And now you're like, oh yeah, you take advantage of that power that you've been given. And instead of using that, a king is not a king because he's a good king. A king becomes a king when someone puts a crown on his head. You put the crown on his head, now you have to help him through love, through compassion and patience, become this great king God has for him to be. But because you're like, nah, that independence in you, and I respect it. I am just telling you, as a wife, it is killing your relationship. And he doesn't even know how to tell you that. until he's pissed off and so mad. Now he's angry and he's explosive. And now you're like, oh my gosh, he don't love me. This man, what the problem was, and this is a problem we're going to deal with next week, but his temptation is to make you God. Adam did the same thing and he was perfect. Come on now with the silence.
I can see that. I can see that.
With it now.
I don't see a dude trying to make a girl.
We put him on pedestals.
They got dude.
Where you been all your life? Yes, absolutely. Good. Come on, Steph.
I mean, yeah.
So it's 3 against 1 on this one. I'm
No,
here for these
Steph,
odds.
step to the mic, Steph.
Nah.
Nah,
Go ahead.
like women do have access to, a man's vulnerability. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No matter how hard the dude is to kill her.
I mean, they bear our children.
Bearing my children has nothing to do with my vulnerability.
It does. You ain't got no kids.
Okay, you're absolutely right.
Even with no kids, bro, they just got access to you. Like,
Let's go with no kids. Let's go with no kids.
Because you're trying to like appease them, and you want to make them happy, so they got a little bit of room.
Maybe I've been growing up in the 21st century. I don't know about
No, bro. You just been roaming. But part
I'm
of it
just
is,
saying, like,
part of
yo,
it
if
is
she ain't
God
making
and
me
I-
happy, like, yo, why do I need to make her happy?
I
Like,
don't know if it's a certain question, but God has enlarged your vision enough where you need an assistance, so you're not even looking for that. And you don't bow with loneliness. And I'm gonna assume you're trying to be abstinent. That
we'll keep going with the conversation.
That's also another part of it, right? So that's this desire that my cousin was talking about. Sometimes it's not related to the vision; it's a desire. When I'm telling you, he comes with this desire, we're like, "What's the vision, bro?" He ain't got a plan. If he ain't got a plan, he's not prepared to be a husband. Period. But he's fighting for you to tie to him. You finally tied to him, right?
Yeah, just chilling.
He's going to either overcompensate because he's going to have to deal with that feeling of vulnerability he's never really had before. He's going to overcompensate by trying to be too domineering, or he's going to be very, very passive and submissive, even though that's not his nature. As a wife, it's your job to recognize that, move in wisdom. It's your job to recognize that and say, okay, how can I help this man be the king he needs to be? Because as a godly woman, I got a secret for you. I gotta say this, right? Hold my hand, Steph. Steph, hold my hand. That's okay. My cousin will hold my hand. Hold my hand. This is deep right now. His hand's huge. This is deep right now. Really, you don't need him.
That's true.
Yeah, you gonna let him say
That's
that?
true.
You really don't need him.
Yeah, you gonna let him say that?
No, you need us. You know you need us. Stop acting like thumb front.
No,
You want this.
They
You
only
want this.
well, the Bible said we need that, but they need they need us because the curse.
No, because that curse only happens when you're a wife. If you just stay a virgin, you got that
Get the
problem.
mic away from him.
I thought you
You're
were
talking too much
about
right now.
this.
No, seriously, as a godly woman, that's the
A
kicker,
godly
right?
single woman.
This is why God had to give y'all the curse. Without it, y'all just leave us in the dust all the time. Y'all already smarter. Y'all do a lot of things better, and then y'all just be like, "Oh, I don't need you." Straight out, God had to give y'all that. You got some humility. Y'all be wilding. But as a godly woman who's single, you don't really need a man. Remember, Eve never had a desire for Adam. That didn't come first.
You know what? I
She
think in our
showed up.
society that it's actually pushed for women to want a man.
Right.
Because it's a man-dominated system. Remember we said about
I appreciate
overcompensating?
Disney.
It's a
First of all, I
man's
appreciate
world.
Disney and all the hard work they do. Thank you, Disney.
Remember the overcompensating that
You
we're talking?
said Disney.
Yeah, I shut them out. I gotta shut them out for that.
First of all, they gonna pay us for royalties. No, we shut up. But
Definitely want to endorse.
remember we said about overcompensating? So what they would tell you as a woman, no, it's a man's world. It's a man's world. Why do you think he want to hit so fast? It's not just an orgasm. He knows most men are aware on some level, but he's saying that a line. If I can hit once, I can hit twice. There's truth to that. Because most men are aware, even if they don't understand the super, if they don't understand the spiritual significance, even if they don't understand the spiritual significance, they understand how me having sex with you ties you to me. It usually doesn't go the other way around unless the woman's already been damaged. It just doesn't. So here's the thing: as a Christian woman, you don't have to be a wife. You can literally just wait. But society has tricked you, and churches are bad about this. You 29, you got your career, you handle your business. Church be like, "Why? You ain't married yet? You ain't got kids?" Like like there's something wrong with that.
Yeah. You ain't got no man.
Girl,
What's right with you?
No, what's wrong with
They
you?
be like,
You're definitely
wait
wrong.
on your husband.
To my young ladies, I just want you to say, when someone comes to you and like, "Why ain't you got a husband yet?" Be like, "Because I'm doing great. Because I'm doing awesome."
But some
Are you though?
Because life is good.
Are you?
Some women be lying to themselves though.
They are lying to themselves.
They
They say that.
alone.
Being alone, that's it. I'm gonna tell you all this.
Loneliness.
It's coming from a man, right? I'm telling you, that feeling of loneliness is much better than the feeling of heartbreak. It's much better.
Because I've been there before, so.
It's much better. That feeling of loneliness, becoming a wife is a lifelong responsibility. It's a responsibility, and we talk about what responsibility. Again, you still have what God has given you. You got to do plus Him. They're like, oh well, men are supposed to love wives too. Yes, but it's different. We're not your helpmeet.
Oh yeah.
We can assist you, but honestly, for what God has you to do, you really need help anyway.
So when a
Especially
woman,
in 2019, where the black woman is the rising demographic in America.
Yeah.
They got the money.
Michelle Obama.
Not what?
whoa, without Barack, Michelle wouldn't really. I don't care.
I see. I was right.
But without
Yo, I
Michelle-
said it now. A minute. I'm telling you right now. Who's the president of the United States? I vote for who? Barack.
But Barack actually said that. It was Michelle.
You know what? And he had to say that just to have a good marriage, all right? Yo.
Oh,
forget that.
because why? To appease her?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
he was a. He was
He
a
was
guy.
saying it to
He
appease
was a
her?
guy. He was a guy.
Oh, so who's the powerful one then?
Who's the powerful?
Point.
Nah, he just wanted. You know, at least like, he didn't want to give up half. That's what I always ask you. Just let you know that.
And here's the thing: it's like you've been brainwashed, men have been brainwashed. So they believe that they're the strong ones, and now they become. They feel the
Yeah, we never touched that scripture, man. The weaker vessels.
Oh yeah, let's go to that. You're right.
Man, trying to run. From
What
that.
is it?
Man, I don't want for nothing.
You gotta Google the weaker vessel scripture. It's in the New Testament somewhere. You know, it's the most I can help.
That's the most you can help?
Yeah,
I'm going to say it like this.
my son got my phone.
So Google made us lazy, bro.
It really
It
has.
really has.
Where you at?
It's 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7.
1 Peter chapter 3.
First Peter.
But we need to go actually go to verse. We need to go to the verse before. So go put it in 1 Peter. If y'all follow along, 1 Peter 3.
Said
what's
first.
going on?
Y'all be noticing, like, anytime we talk about the law or something like that, we got all these comments. Now we talking about, not yet. All these men are suddenly quiet. I feel, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
It's because you're speaking out here nonsense.
It's not nonsense.
It's definitely nonsense.
Yeah, it's not. Y'all know you're talking
It's true.
Yeah.
First Peter 3.
I understand he your family, you got to take up.
Whatever.
Oh, wow.
Yo, but
I've
yeah,
been on this though.
yeah.
When Paul said it's better to be without a woman, but if you have to have a woman, then get you a woman.
To be single.
I would definitely go with Paul on that one.
They're better, but he didn't say that for women.
He
Though.
said
Isn't that interesting?
single. He's like doing God's work.
I think
Not just
hold
being
on.
single.
If we're coming from a biblical standpoint, aren't we all trying to do God's work right here? If you ask for,
But I
you
think
know what I'm
what's
saying?
interesting-
So that's what I'm saying.
What
You
I
can't
think
say
is
that.
interesting is the fact that Paul said that about men, right? But not so about women. I think men have that desire.
Might have
Yeah,
to work that
well,
out.
Honestly, I
That's
think that
why-
was a time thing
That's
too.
why he
Hold on,
told
whoa.
us to get married.
I'm gonna be real with you. I think that was a time thing because women couldn't really own property and things of that nature. So he only had.
Then
to
it would
speak
make
to men.
sense for him to
No
say that.
disrespect, they was
That doesn't
considered
make
sex.
that doesn't make sense. Because then that would mean you say that to women, like, make sure
That's
you're
the
a man
book right there.
so you can come up.
That is.
Yeah.
Yo, women, you need to get a man. So the society, you second class citizen. Why would he say that to women? Why would he say that to men and not to women?
Why would he say that to men? I think he was trying. Honestly, I don't really know. I ain't really thought about it. I can't even say that. But I'm gonna say it like this.
No,
I'm thinking of it right now as you spoke.
He talking
No,
about
I ain't
it's
never
better
really
to
thought about it.
marry
So
than to
let's just say,
burn.
honestly, I figured because we were supposed to, even though I'm kind of against this a little bit,
Man, he
we
was
were
talking
only
about
supposed to be
both of
with one person. We weren't meant to have multiple wives. And that's a whole different thing.
Look, he
That's a
said
discussion.
if they can't exercise self-control, they should marry. For
That's
it is
not
very-
what's that?
Right. If we can't have self-control and start smashing,
But if they cannot contain, let them marry. For it is better to marry than to burn.
Oh, so you're talking about the both. So I stand corrected.
okay, thank you.
I stand corrected.
Appreciate you on
I said
that.
that. So first, what? Some reason together.
Thank you.
I don't sound like some of the people be commenting on your joint, bro. I ain't corrected. I ain't got no. Like, you know what I'm saying? We gotta talk about the truth.
You silly.
So,
Go ahead.
but just on that point
Get back
though,
to
about
it.
just to clarify, just on that point about it just being for men, because that's also for men and women. So women do have that desire. My argument is what I presented from the very beginning. When a woman and a man are married, women, you have a power, right? You're so focused on the submission thing. I want to go to 1 Peter chapter 3, and I'm hoping this clears this up. We'll start with the first verse because this is powerful. Likewise, ye wives, be in submission to your own husband, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be warned by the conversation of the wives. While they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear. Interesting. Whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of planting of the hair and of wearing of gold or putting on apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, and that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of meek and a quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God a great place.
Trusting in God.
Going to verse 6. Hear me out, y'all.
I'm in verse 5 too, you know.
Okay. For after this manner in the old time, the holy woman also, who trusted in God, adored her themselves, being in subjection to their own husbands. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as you do well, and are not afraid with any amazement. Now, I think that point about Sarah is extremely important, right? Because, again, we see women, you're taught to think the submission thing, rule of your husband, is a weakness. I'm telling you, God put that in you because you're so strong. Abraham was willing to risk it all over Sarah. God himself came to Abraham, was like, you're going to have a kid. Sarah was like, I'm not sure we can believe that. Sleep with your servant. What did Abraham do?
He's been obedient.
I mean,
what I'm saying is, we see the same thing happen with Adam. That quiet, it's the same thing.
I think, honestly, I think honestly, because it was so common back then for them to have concubines and things of that nature.
Abraham had left everything because God said so. Right? So, and also when he goes to sacrifice Isaac, there's a reason why he didn't tell Sarah.
Because she would have tripped.
And not only would she have tripped, he might have been tempted to obey. Just like he did.
She would have talked him out of
with
it.
Hagar.
You ain't taking my baby.
The point that
straight out.
But the weaker vessel is in verse 7.
I'm saying this: if I'm already have rule over her, like why would she have time to say for this? See what I'm saying?
You say what?
Why would she have time?
You
see what I'm saying? Like, that makes no sense.
Okay, so here's the thing about rule. There is something in her, right? It ain't about you. It's a curse to the woman. It's not a blessing to the man.
That's definitely what I see it as.
I know you do. That's a lot of people do it. That's why so many damaged marriages. That's what we have this conversation for. It wasn't a benefit to the man. Her having it in her spirit makes her sin come up contradictory. Just like we know that what God wants us to do and we rebel against it. I don't like just because we're called, that's why we still sin. So if we do that to God, yes, He's gonna do that to you. That doesn't mean it's not the curse isn't there. Just like thou shalt not surely die. That didn't stop them from eating the fruit. I'm telling women the issue you're having because you're fighting against that, and I understand why. But in that, what we just read in First Peter chapter 3, it's telling her, be meek. Meek is not necessarily a natural. It doesn't have to be a natural characteristic. It's your behavior. Be meek. Be intentional. Because when we talk about Abraham and Sarah, it could be said that it was Sarah's fault that we see this whole beef, right, between the children of Ishmael and the children of Isaac to this day.
Yeah.
Because as the stronger one, she did not display meekness or submission. That ended up leading her godly husband astray. I'm telling you all have a holy responsibility. And you can fight me on this. We just came from the word of God. You have a holy responsibility because you're powerful enough to do it. He had to tell us that. We be pucking out anyway.
Husbands do.
Husbands. We be pucking out anyway. We want to please our wives.
But verse 7 talks about the weaker vessel. The one.
Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to that. That's for husbands. We're not talking about husbands right now. Because
the weaker vessel as to the weaker vessel.
Okay, so then if we're going to talk about that, we have to go into the whole husbandship thing, which we're not talking about right now.
So let me see.
So we definitely talk about that.
Verse 7.
Verse 7.
That's why I said. That's why I stopped there because it's like why ye husbands. That's a different conversation. And to do that, I have to go all the way back and talk about husbandship from the beginning.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up right now. We'll get our last thoughts and hopefully find.
We gotta wrap up for it, bro. I'm enjoying myself.
I understand, but unfortunately, we have other things that we have to take
how
care
much
of
time
today.
do you?
You said what?
Because he's saying you on that time.
Unfortunately, we have.
All right, so I'm supposed to be.
My point exactly.
He ain't hit me back yet, so.
Like I said,
like 10 minutes.
and I can't take that chance because I promised Travis.
No, you straight. I promise. But
Man, what you got up tonight?
yeah, what you got up tonight trying to pass the puck? What you got to do?
So, because we're live right now, we will not be discussing what I have to do tonight. That is not about to go down
You see how man
on
do?
live.
Make it seem like it's your fault. He doing
It was your fault. I'm making it seem like it's another man's fault. Yes, I'm okay with that. All right.
So, ladies, like, I don't mean to dominate the conversation so much.
Ladies, man.
But, ladies, look. If you consider being a wife, understand a couple of things, just a couple of key points. One, your responsibility as a wife includes not just the thing God has you to do, because you have that too, but also taking care of your husband. Two, your power, right? God had to tell you submit for a relationship to be balanced, because a godly man will submit to you. You have to make sure he's not making you God. Hence, your intentional submission constantly reminds him of that. That's what he wants to do.
Dang,
We
you gotta
saw
make
it.
sure.
We saw it with Adam. We've seen it with Abraham. Your meekness, a woman whose heart has the heart of God, a woman who is seeking the peace and is willing to humble herself in this way, she is of a sweet. You know what? Let me see. Let me just.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna go ahead and intervene right now. So, interject myself.
You
Like, yo,
said-
dudes, if you're making your woman a god, you're definitely wrong, and you're stupid and foolish. I'm gonna go say that.
But no, he's right.
I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that.
He's right. But we saw it from the beginning of the time. Whether it's stupid or foolish or not, that's where we at.
And if you're at that,
Adam did it.
So how y'all feel about that movement where they be like, woman, y'all goddesses, and you know what I'm saying?
but
That stuff is confusing.
They call women goddesses.
They call guys goddess. So, yeah, I can't even consider
That's
that.
another conversation.
I'm not gonna go into that level. I feel like that's a whole big thing.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that's another conversation. Like,
so yeah, that's a whole different thing. I'm not we don't do that. But right now, yeah, y'all should never do that. That's stupid. That's foolish. You have only one God.
no, he's right.
Nor should you
He's right.
even start praising females like that, giving them the big head to think they are that. Like trying to trick them into believing that you think that they are that. Like,
Let me tell you, when a man gets married, he finds that one. See, you can say that because you're free. So you married, you're bound.
yo,
And it's different.
You're back? No.
you can be bound all you want. You still, I don't see the change. What magical power happened when you got bound? Let me ask you that.
I can't.
I'm
It's
just
a-
asking.
You found the one that you want to spend your life with.
Hold on. let me-
Okay, so I'm gonna go with you then. Since I haven't heard too much from you, let's go ahead and put you out here right now. It's time for you to get out here, Antonio. I love you. When you don't feel comfortable, oh, you go past the buck. So you better get yourself a message on. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. As a divorced man,
Yeah.
do you feel like, yo, you're still bound to her? Yes or no?
No.
How long was y'all married?
2 weeks. He's still laughing. It took 6 months to get divorced, but we was married for 2 weeks.
You didn't even let the stove get.
Okay.
I wish I would have lied on that.
Bad example.
Hold on, wait.
Hold on, did
But-
the ink job, dog?
No, but here's a gem from that.
Oh, snap.
I'm hot.
He wasn't also. You consider yourself as a man that was seeking after God during that time.
I
Don't
mean,
let Chad count her, you know.
Yo, he had to get married. Yo.
There's a bunch of people who are not.
she was pregnant with my child, and she don't want to have him out of wedlock.
Why not?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's
It's
some
a little
biblical stuff,
honor.
man. I think that's a biblical thing right there.
I'm just saying the man he was is not the man he is today.
Yeah,
I'm definitely.
He wasn't after God like he is.
I said that. I understand
So,
you're fired for
That's
the
why I
Lord.
don't understand how people who are not.
Okay. Let's try
You said,
that.
I wish I could lie.
That's why I don't understand how people don't see marriage as a spiritual obligation to even get married. It doesn't make sense.
What? Hold on. What?
Well, I don't understand how people who do not see marriage as a spiritual obligation need to get married.
Oh, I can see that.
That makes
The whole
sense.
burning thing.
I mean, like
I mean, you can do that anyway. though.
Jay-Z and
Y'all talking
Beyonce.
about the burning society thing?
Jay-Z got to inherit 400 million. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's not most men don't have that story.
I mean, I'm just trying to say, like,
I'm not a billionaire yet.
Ephesians
he a
5:33.
billionaire now.
Ephesians 5:33.
Ephesians 5:33. However, let each one of you love his wife as himself, and this is the part that we're focusing on. And let the wife see that she respects her husband. Like I said at the beginning, women want to be adored. We're going to talk about that next time when we talk about spouseship. We're talking about
Adored.
husbands. But men want to be admired. and he wants his admiration to come from you. Yes, he doesn't deserve it. You're right. But you don't deserve God's grace either.
Ooh.
Yes, he doesn't deserve it. In this way, he is weaker. We see example after example of powerful men in the Bible brought down by a woman. Understanding the position of power. Is it hard? Yes. Is it difficult? Yes. Is it unfair? Or you had to come to God and be like, Lord, why I submit to this knucklehead? Yes. Are we going to fumble with the crown on? Yes. Absolutely. That's why God gave us you.
All right.
It's a divine destination.
All right.
But I commend Job, though. You know, his wife, you know, he was at a vulnerable moment, and his wife was like, bro,
Curse God.
yeah,
Like,
curse God.
Stay with her, though. All I'm saying is,
He said you stay with her, though.
I mean, he done lost everything else. He ain't really have nothing else to go.
But it was,
I'm not
he
gonna lie
was still
to you. Like,
he was
yo,
but he
dude.
was telling God to kill him.
Like, dude.
And
That's a whole different thing.
not only that, but using Job as an example, he's the one man that God was like, yeah, that one. Yeah, that's mine. He's mine. God ain't saying nothing about Travis. So it took all of that for Job just to not listen to his wife. Instead, like, Lord, kill me instead. I'm not going to bless you, know. And this is the most faithful man in the world. Understand, women, your position of power. Understand the influence you have on your husband even if you don't see it. And now, again, people are hurt. And that may not be overcompensating. He's going to need your love and your patience to come through. And he's going to need your patience, love and your patience to come back around.
All right.
You are a healing balm, even though it doesn't feel good. And if you're not about that, here's the beautiful thing. You ain't got to be a wife. Pick and choose, because he needs you more than you need him. Holla.
You ain't got to be a wife.
Straight out.
Hey, and there's more women in the world, though, than it is men.
Yeah.
I can
It's
believe
like
that.
5-1.
So now women are getting kind of like,
All right, cool.
yeah, women are getting kind of desperate. Like, they want to get chosen. They like, I got to
They only want to be told because they've been tricked to believe that. Baby dolls, when they're like 2, right? Like, to nurture these baby alive joints, they're set up to think that way. That's why we got to have things like Come Reason Together, things like Touch KC to bring some rational
Thank you,
thinking
Barbies.
in this relational space.
What up,
Yeah,
guys?
that's touchkc.com. Check me out.
Hey, he's selling.
All right, so we're going to get our one last comments right quick. Steph, any comments?
Man. Oh, yeah, I wanted you to address this because we kind of skipped over it where it said, Paul was like, women, listen to your own husbands or submit to your own husband and stuff.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you what looks real foul.
Go ahead.
Can I get into it?
Yeah.
Hurry up. I mean, you got a little time.
So you won't submit to your husband, but you submit to the pastor.
Ooh.
You don't submit to your husband, but you submit to that man at your job.
That's it. That's
So you
it.
come home and you want to give him a hard time because he's doing his best to try to be a leader.
Get him.
Whenever you help him be that leader through the love God has given you, you are a bomb. Instead of you using that, now you're gonna be all independent. What's all that energy when you at your job though?
Get him.
But when I say something, you're like, yes, pastor. And now your man gotta watch that. What you think gonna happen?
And that ain't nothing personal.
Oh, no, that's personal. No. You should definitely take that personal. I'm telling you, I'll take that personal. Because I'm not going to lie to you. If you married and you listen to another man and I take care of this household and you stand with me, you sleep right beside me, oh, we have an issue. Not later, but right then and there, we have an issue.
Y'all beef.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
Actually, that's not what happens. What a man would do is sit there, but because, again, you are the weightier one, he won't say nothing.
That's the average man.
Right. And then what happens is, until he gets to a point where he's pissed off,
Cowards.
and he just gives up. You're like, you know what? Now he's overcompensating. Now he's domineering. Now he's having to say something. He's telling you to do stuff just to prove his dominance.
Not cowards.
I wouldn't say it's just cowardly.
Yo, if he ain't
you only
addressed that
saying
itch
that
right
because
there.
you ain't bound. You don't understand the process.
I mean,
Learn something. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to help you out here.
Hey, unbound. I'm like Django. Unbound.
Unchained. Django Unchained.
Like yo.
Nah, but I thought that was interesting how Paul said that, like, you know, submit to your own husbands and stuff like that.
Now, this doesn't mean, and women, I have a client I'm working with now. She's like, well, what happens if he's asking me to do something that's stupid? I said, is it unethical? Let me put y'all on game real quick. I'm glad you brought that up.
Good.
I said, is it unethical? She's like, nah. It's just, let's say it's an investment, right? And there's this property you want to look at. You know it has all the furniture. You know it makes the most sense. But he's like, nah, baby, this other property is a fixer-upper. You know, we can save money, blah, 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 blah. Now, you as a woman, you know you can put pressure on him, but it's going to cost you later, right? So what do? God has given you seduction. Seduce that dude. Seduce him to sensibility.
I know. They don't know how to do that no more. That
Yes,
art
they
has
do.
been lost. No, that
No.
art has been lost.
When they want that,
Yo, that art has been
No,
lost.
it's not.
I'm saying.
No, it's
That is
not.
an old
Sure,
school.
sure.
when they want that money from you, they seem to remember all of a sudden.
Oh, of course they do.
Come on now. Come on, Johnisha, preach.
Okay. All right. So. All right.
And look, there's nothing wrong with that. Seduce your husband for the good, though.
Yeah, Jackie, get him.
No, Jackie, that's part. But yeah, seduce your husband for the good. Seduce him for the good. Help seduce him to the decision. And if he makes a decision, right? Let's go with this property. I think it's a good example. He's like, baby, I understand that. I think I see your vision. Get behind what he's trying to do. Pay attention, because he might have a point. Pay attention. Get behind what he wants to do. If he said, baby, this is what we're doing. Okay, babe, what you need me to do? How can I help? Right? You just let him know, like, baby, I really like this property, but as the man of my house, let me tell you how much you're going to get what you want. As the man in the house, and as your queen, I support that. So tell me, how can we help make this happen? This obviously is important to you. My heart's here. I think this is the best decision. I'm going to trust you on this. Watch the man go home and think about it.
You know what, baby, what you said.
You know what? I was looking at it. You know what?
It made sense.
I just thought about it. We don't really have time.
No. I'm going with the common black woman on this one. I said it, and I'm calling y'all out. Nah, I'm not doing that. That's how we're gonna get right
Well,
here.
that's because they don't know no better. That's why we have this conversation. They don't know better because who tells them, right? Because all
Other
they have
females.
was their bitter mother.
He
Who
said other female.
all they had was their bitter mother who raised them,
Ooh.
and that's just real. That's no diss.
Ooh.
No, those are this.
There's no diss.
It was the truth.
Who's talking about husbands? That's part of the problem too,
Oh, yeah, that is.
right? Because they didn't get to have this conversation. No one told them. So they see that, oh no, my mama got on her own, I'm gonna get on my own too. So now she's with a godly man. She really doesn't know how to transition. What do I do with this? I know that's the right decision to do, because in her mind, she's like, hey, I'm gonna have to go down with this ship because you're making a dumb decision. Look, it's the 85, it's the 80-20 rule. You do what I'm telling you to do, what I'm suggesting as a husband. You're gonna get what you want 80% of the time, if not more. But when you come to with this war thing, let's say you go to the opposite. You're like, baby, that's a dumb idea. He got his dreams and hopes up, right? Baby, that's a dumb idea. That's a dumb idea. You are killing the king in him. And then you mad why he doesn't have a spine. Why he don't want to lead your relationship.
Oh, he like, I ain't telling you nothing.
Or I ain't telling you nothing. You don't believe in me. Or he starts listening to somebody who does. And I'm just keeping it 110.
Why you make that face?
No, that was an actual true statement.
Yeah, like,
Yo,
for
he
real.
will go listen to some. You can be replaced. We just got the numbers. Women outnumber men
That's
5 to
not what
1.
I'm saying.
I'm just
As a
putting
guy-
that out there. We got the numbers. We just got those numbers. They're what 5 times as many women as men. Yeah, 5 to 1. The numbers are like, yo, you can't be replaced very easily.
Your admiration is so important to him that he's willing to do almost anything for it. Don't let him make you God. So by you submitting, you're reminding him that no. I'm not your God. You're not going to do me the way that Adam did Eve. But some of y'all like that. You like that power and you abuse it. And you're going to pressure him to do what you want even when stuff don't make sense.
Give them an inch, they take
Stop that. Your love.
That's just modern day woman.
That's because they don't know better. Like, look, your love is what's going to make him the king he's supposed to be. Now, mind you, that's 80-20. There's sometimes you got to eat the L. He may not come back and be like, okay, baby, we're going to get this property. And you have to let him learn from experience. But when you do that and you support him that way, and that time it comes up, and you're like, baby, you sure? You don't throw in his face and like, baby, you sure? I think it's a better idea. You know what, baby? Okay, let him think about that. Put him that. Y'all talking about y'all want a man to lead. Do you really? Because being a leader doesn't mean you're not a leader because you make all the best decisions. You're a leader. I'm a leader because you put me in that position. Now let me grow in it. Help me grow in it. Because you're the only person that can help me become a better husband.
So now we got that argument right now is basically who's actually in charge. The person who put you in charge, or the man.
God is in charge. And I think that's what can't be forgotten. God is in charge.
Okay, cool.
Now, because of that curse, going back to the curse, right? To women, I'm just being honest with you. The reason why you become more irrational as a wife, and you know I'm telling the truth, is because now your priority does become your family. You almost don't care about nothing else. It was okay because of that curse. We don't have that. So it just makes more, the man is considered a sensible one. Not because he's smarter. We just don't got that curse we battling with every day.
So the man is more sober-minded because he ain't
So to
had
speak.
Yeah,
That's why as a woman, you want to make sure you're attaching yourself to a godly man. Because there's times where it ain't going to make no sense to you because of what's going on in your spirit and you just don't have to trust him.
All right. So, all right. Thank you, Steph. Antonio,
I'm out
yo,
here.
any comments, questions? It's that
I'm out
time
here.
right now. It's that time.
Yeah.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
Yeah, when y'all see me, if you godly, go ahead and talk to me.
Shout them out right now. You know, get 'em up. Right on.
Sing on ready to go.
Yeah, he tagged in it. Antonio,
Yeah.
A.
Ryan.
Ryan. You know what I'm saying? What you out there?
All right. Yo, Steph, any more questions, comments right quick?
So to you,
Oh,
man.
no. I'm getting you. I'm finishing this off. I'm taking them out.
Oh, you're not going last.
Oh, I'm definitely going
You're
last.
not going last. We're not going to leave the people confused.
Steph.
Go ahead.
Do you have any before we go?
Nah, I ain't got
All right, Trav, any more comments?
I'll wait.
There won't be no wait.
You know what? I'm sure something will come to me. I got to think about it. Go ahead.
All right, we're going to be finished after this. Hold on. Make sure I put that.
No, he ain't.
Hey, get your hand off me. Put the mic back. Put the mic back. All right, so my last comment and everything is actually this. We have a married veteran, newlywed, divorced.
2 years, September.
2
20.
Yo,
years?
very much correct.
Wait,
Yo, we're not going to go
September
through it.
25th.
We're not going through the date. Just in
Cash
case.
at me, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, go for me for my.
Cash out him, touch KC.
Yeah,
Dollar sign.
still.
We'll make sure the money gets to him eventually.
Yeah. But yeah, I just want to say out, yo, I think this is a good thing for us to actually do. I'm very proud that we're actually doing this. I can't wait to see next week with the women actually panel.
Oh, yeah, and I got one last thing.
Oh, go ahead, my brother.
My last question,
Go
bro.
ahead. Last question.
So, you silly, man. So, how? No, all right. Do you ever see yourself getting married?
Of course.
Really?
What?
Oh, that's because of the argument.
Hold on. Let me just, y'all don't understand what just happened here.
Oh, but I
Y'all don't understand.
already explained it to you, though. For me, you know, that's a long time ago.
Don't tell me God don't make miracles.
Look at God.
Come on, now. Come on.
Dang, God, all right.
I am overwhelmed. My silence has got that much happier.
Now, please, how about you give me my
I can't do that.
So, all right, any other questions? That was
That's it.
All right,
Wow.
cool. All right, so with that said, y'all, I want to thank everybody. Yo, any comments, questions, please make sure that you hit us up on here. And yeah,
I got one last comment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yo,
Travis,
for those who, I gotta put it in the plug real quick. So I do one-on-ones. I do presentations on this very topic, right? I have a book called Dating Intervention: The Do's and Don'ts of Dodge Disaster. So on Amazon, if you're interested, you can bring your signed copy. But if you're looking for one-on-one consultation for you and your spouse, or you're looking to get married, hit me up. Seriously. Catch me on my Facebook page. On Touch KC, we have a Facebook page. You can go to touchkc.com. There's too many ways to get at me. But we're trying to bring interpersonal help and these kind of conversations to those who need it. You're not a bad wife. You just didn't know. Come, let's get educated together, man. Great discussion, y'all.
All right. So, yeah, like I said, yo, make sure you make comments. Anything that you want to know, any questions, please go ahead and we'll address it right before we step into the female panel. So, yeah.
There might not be a female panel. I think it's going to be us.
Okay. If it is just us,
I mean,
we'll be talking about females.
Some women.
So we may have
I might
some
see
females.
got some godly women on here, you know.
I'm
Yeah,
just
it's not
saying,
like it's
I would say
been-
that. So,
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So-
Godly and you know.
and
word.
my last comment is, guys, stop being cowards. Husbands, stop being cowards. That is all.
This ain't about husband.
Husbands, stop being cowards.
Wow, be good.
Hey, come reason.
Come Reason Together Radio, man. Bring y'all to clarity perspective. We see y'all next
Love
time.
him.
You do.
Show some respect.